Oh, fuck my
Yeah.
laundry. Fuck.
I ended up nominating Willie and Kirsten. Kirsten, obviously, not even worried about it. Willie, I feel a little more guilty about. I had found out from Jason yesterday about that Willie had been working with Kirsten and Jason in an alliance called Production. Now, he was talking to them. I didn't know they were in like a named alliance, which totally freaked me out and made me really upset at Willie. And so Jason came to me, wanted to work with me, like hooked up Patrick and I in an alliance, which is already happening. So I didn't feel like I could put Jason up because it would just totally turn around everything. I felt like I had made an ally of someone that I was really worried about. And I felt like if I put Willie up, he was obviously going to stay and we could easily fix things.
I tried and I tried and I tried to convince her, no, 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 no. No target here. Leave. No, 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 no. Look that way. She wasn't really budging. So essentially, I went up to her and I went up to Pat and I said, we could do an alliance. If you're that worried, you can make an alliance with me and him and we will guarantee her to go home. Because me and Pat prior had talked about getting Kirsten out. After we went on a Google Hangout, we essentially made it official.
We three need to be stronger than ever.
Yeah. I mean,
Kirsten
what did they
just-
say?
Kirsten literally just messaged me and she was like, Willie's giving me tea right now. And I was like, what about? And she goes, Jason exposed our thing.
I mean,
Jason did the smart thing to do. You guys didn't.
did.
Jason's not on the block. You are. So
I saw a chance to work with two people I liked, and I went, oh, okay, let's go that way. I exposed the production alliance. I told them that the three of us were in an alliance, and that is why everything Willie is telling you is full of shit. Which is good, because yes, that puts a target on my back for Willie, but at the same time, I know Willie doesn't fucking like Mike. I know Willie is now not going to like Katie because he went up. So there's three of us, and we're going to see where he goes because he's kind of going to be alone, and I'm kind of going to offer him that only leash to somewhat stay.
Man, this has been a really, really hard week for me. I think Patrick and Mike will vote for me to stay. That's two people that I've really invested throughout the game.
For like the 24 hours leading up to last night's nomination ceremony, the goal that I had was to try to find a way to get Katie to put Willie up. Willie's the only person in this group that I think would even potentially nominate me at this point. He's played a great middle game. I think he's played a really similar game to me, where like he has deals with everyone, but I know that his deals with other people are a lot tighter than his with mine. With me, he just claims like, oh yeah, we got each other's back. So I really do think that if he were to win, I would be a nominee. So he was going to be my target this week. And when Katie won, I knew that finding a way to get him up was going to be tough because he's her tool. He's to her what Kirsten is to me. He tells her everything. He's infatuated with her. And it's been really beneficial for both of our games. But at this point, I knew that Katie was targeting Kirsten, and Kirsten is my tool, and I want Kirsten in this game as long as I can have her. I knew that Kirsten was going to go on the block, and I wasn't going to fight that, but my goal was to get Willie up there next to her, who A, people may potentially vote out, and B, so that if the veto is used, he is the easy next vote.
I feel bad because I actually really do like Willie, but come on. The whole point of being in like with someone is you tell them about your alliances. And yes, I'm not telling him about you and I, but
No.
that's different.
Because he's not your true number one.
I know, but I feel bad because he thinks he is.
So I gave some really subtle pushes as to why Willie might make sense. about how he would be maybe less likely to vote Kirsten out, whereas me and Jason and Mike would be more likely, where he's playing every side. But then yesterday, thank God, Jason delivered the final blow by exposing the alliance of three that he had with Kirsten and Willie in the game, which Katie and I both knew about, but we acted like we didn't. I knew about it from Kirsten. We've kind of kept that in our pocket the entire game. And that was exactly what Jason needed to do in that moment, because he built trust with Katie, and the three of us established a final three. Willie is the person that I would like to leave this week. I want Kirsten to win this veto, because I don't know if I could use it on her, and she doesn't know if I could either. I want Kirsten to win this. Then Willie stays on the block, Mike or Jason goes up as a renom, and Willie goes home.
Well, in my argument with Willie, like
You told me everything.
Yeah, he was getting upset, and he was like,
He loved it when I joined the call.
Yeah, he was like, I'm supposed to be like your closest ally, and you're putting me up on the block. He's like, but you're not even considering Patrick and Mike. And I was like, because I know they'll vote to evict Kirsten. I don't know you will. And he was like, that was forever ago, and like, you didn't tell me about your alliance. And I was like, yeah, I did. He's like, you told me you were in a chat with these people in your own group. I was like, is that not telling you? And he was like,
Totally.
And he was like, I know. And he was like turning it onto me. And I was like, and I said, he's like, it wasn't even an alliance. I was like, did it have a name? And he was like, well, yeah, because Jason told us it was named Production. And I was like, did it have a name? And he said, yeah. And I was like, so, and like in my head, I can very much separate game from real life. And I know that for my game, sticking with Patrick is a really good idea because he's under the radar and I'm not. And it's nice to have someone like that. And just, we've been with information. Tons of people talk to Patrick, so he gives me all that information. I know that it's best for me, so I can make that separation. I think Willie's having a really tough time with it because he's a little less doing that. And I made like putting up Willie, it was a very sudden decision that I made yesterday. I was fully intending on putting up Jason and Kirsten, like up until Jason and I had that really good talk.
Willie can be as mad as he wants. He knew he should have done the same thing that I did. Myself, Katie, and Patrick, the three of us working together.
Am I surprised that I'm nominated? No. I pretty much knew it was a guarantee, considering I did nominate Katie using the DPOV, and that was actually a fear of mine. And it was really hard back during the double eviction, when it was between Jermaine and Katie of who to evict. It did come into my mind that if we did get rid of Jermaine, then Katie would come after me, but if we got rid of Katie, Jermaine, at least like I wasn't the person that nominated him. But at the time, Jermaine was bigger target in my eyes, so I told everybody to get rid of him. I'm nominated against Willie. A few hours ago, I would have said this was an okay scenario because I would probably have the votes, but I found out that Jason is a fucking piece of shit and told Katie about our alliance. Probably the only people that would use the veto on me is myself and Patrick. I really, really hope he's being loyal to me because I would be loyal to him 1,000%. But who knows? Maybe he's just playing me this entire time and he's been like with Katie since the beginning. That would be terrible. Katie wants me gone. Like, I am target number 1 this week. And part of me was like, I kind of regret using the Diamond Power veto. But on the other hand, like, if this is how I go out, then I'm fighting my way in the game and I'm not just sitting back and like taking the easy way out. Patrick is now the only person that hasn't been nominated, and that bitch is going to end up winning this game. He's liked by everybody. Nobody's going to nominate him. And he's going to just scurry by to the end and win the final HOH and win the game. I really, really have to win veto now because I can't count on Jason's vote. Don't think I can count Mike's vote. So if this is the final, or for the final noms, I'm pretty much guaranteed that I'm leaving. I really want to talk to Mike, try to suck up to him, try and get him to like be closer to me than Katie. It's so hard. This is so hard.
The worst case scenario for me, not for Katie, not for Pat, but for me, is if Mike wins the fucking veto and takes one of them down. That is the worst possible fucking case. It's terrifying. I know I have to win today. I absolutely have to fucking win this veto.
Hello, and welcome to your 5th Power Veto competition of the season, Messy Memory.
Woo!
Here is how you play. You will be competing in sessions. When it is your turn, you will enter the Google Hangout to compete with Keith alone. You will see a random assortment of 24 items. There are 2 rounds to the competition. You will have to bet on how many items you can correctly memorize and recite back to Keith. You will receive 1 point per item, but be careful, as you will receive your points all or nothing. This means if you say that you can correctly memorize and arrange 10 items, you must arrange all 10 items correctly, or you will receive 0 points. The person who receives the most combined points between their 2 rounds of competing will win this week's Golden Power of Veto. Here are the results of the Messy Memory competition. In last place with 0 points is Jason. In 5th place with 10 points is Willie.
Are we supposed to cheer between?
I don't know. In 4th place with 12 points is Patrick. In 3rd place with 16 points is Katie. And the winner of the Messy Memory competition and the Power of Veto is, with a score of 30 points, Mike! Yay!
Congrats, Mike.
Congratulations, Mike.
So we just finished the POV challenge. I really liked this challenge. It was a lot of fun. So we got to look at 24 items and then make a wager as to how many items we thought we would be able to remember in 60 seconds and then put back together. So I knew I was going to aim on the higher end of what I thought I could do. Ended up going with 15 the first time, and it wasn't too hard. I felt like a minute was a reasonable amount of time to get 15, and I got it. And then I decided to, in round 2, I decided to kind of play it safe and go 15 again. I just did 15. Kind of in that moment, I was like, I don't think anybody else is going to do two perfect rounds at 15 or higher. And so I went for 15, and I put them all back together, and I think I got it all together faster the second time, because I was used to it. And then I was looking at it, it wasn't quite right, and I asked Keith to switch 2 items in the front row, and I was like, yeah, that's it, lock it in. Ended up getting 30 points. The next most was 16, which was Katie and Kirsten. Katie got 16 in her first round and then went for 20 and didn't get it. Kirsten, I'm not sure. I kind of feel like I'm thinking she maybe went 16-16 and didn't get it the second time or something like that. Or maybe she did exactly what Katie did. But, immediately after, Kirsten messages me and is like, hey, so I've been meaning to talk to you. And I'm like, in my head, filling in the rest of that thought, been meaning to talk to you for the entire game, but I haven't because I don't really like you very much, is what I think she really thinks. She used the Diamond Power Veto on me, and I think that, her mistake there, and I said this in a previous confessional, was saving me in the first place. She shouldn't have. That was a dumb idea. But also, she didn't make any deals. She didn't come to me ahead of time, and she couldn't, I guess, talk about it. but she didn't use it as leverage to get me to agree to anything.
So, unfortunately, Kirsten could not pull off the veto win the other night that we both needed her to get. She knew that I was going to be in a shitty position if I had won it, and she had told me in advance that she didn't want me to use it if she'd won. So, our whole goal was for her to get the win, because I knew that I would not be Katie's replacement. Luckily, Kirsten was last, so I was able to spend the time in between literally running through practice trials with her, with my own items in my house, trying to get her ready for it. But she could not take down the beast that was Mike.
All right, hello, house guests. If I could have everybody please gather in the living room for the veto ceremony. All right, house guests, this is the veto ceremony. Welcome. Willie and Kirsten have been nominated for eviction, but I have the power to veto one of Katie's nominations. At this point, I will now give Willie the opportunity to tell me why I should use the golden power of veto on him.
Alright, Mike, so basically every week in Big Brother House there's 3 different kinds of people. There's someone who drives the bus, someone who rides the bus, and someone who goes in the undercarriage. Some people like to decide what they want to do, some people like to go with anything, some people decide to throw people under the bus. Now, you get to decide whether you want to be a driver or a passenger. You can either use the veto on me, and then whatever happens, or you can decide to keep them the same, and then hopefully save me for the week. But whatever you decide to do whatever you want, man. Either way, the wheels on the bus go round and round. Thank you.
And no matter what, somebody gets run over. Alright, thank you, Willie. Kirsten, at this point, if you want to tell me why you think I should use the golden power of veto on you, take it away.
Well, okay, I don't have any bus analogies, but I'll try to keep this short and sweet, because frankly, I don't want to waste anyone's time since we pretty much all know that the ceremony is going to end exactly how every single other ceremony happens. Everybody's too scared to create any waves whatsoever, and everybody just sits in the sidelines watching the game go by and not making any moves. Now, Mike, frankly, I think you should use the power of veto on me because I'm a fighter, and maybe that's a knock against me because I'm not here to just sit and die like everybody else in this game. But yeah, no, I'm not going to be somebody's lapdog and just hand them the win. However, with that being said, I can honestly tell you, Mike, that if I tell you that I have your back, I have your back. I don't do bullshit. I don't do crap. I'm straight up. And, you know, actually on that note, as Nicole Franzel once said, I'm not here to play big baby. I'm here to play big brother. And use the veto, don't use the veto. Obviously, it's completely your choice, and I respect it either way. Just keep in mind that, you know, everybody wanted you out in the fast forward, and if I'm gone, your head is on the chopping block next. Thank you, and I respect your decision.
So that's a lot of, I appreciate both of your speeches. It's definitely good stuff to think about, and I appreciate your insight. At this point, I have decided not to use the golden power of veto, and this veto ceremony is adjourned.
Everybody is just doing what Miss Katie says, and they're paving her way to the very end. And oh, this is my first game. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here to have fun. Bitch. Why are these people just standing back and letting her to get to the end? This is literally a one-person can win game. Not everybody, not the whole alliance. No, one fucking person. But no, everybody wants to throw their games away so Katie can win.
I'm not going to use the veto. I'm going to keep her up there because I promised Katie. My Chilltown alliance with Patrick and my Doctor Who alliance with Katie working out very, very well. We're a good team. Going to keep it rolling.